Hey guys, and welcome to this video about Army of the Dead Lost Vegas. We're going to talk about the cast, the plot, the release window, and everything we know so far about Zack Snyder's zombie prequel. Viva Las Vegas! Okay, so while Zack Snyder was busy bringing his Star Wars inspired space opera, Rebel Moon, he's also set to return to his hit zombie franchise with Army of the Dead Lost Vegas. The filmmaker's direct follow up to Zack Snyder's Justice League. 2021's Army of the Dead was a smash hit for Netflix, finding its place in the streaming service's top 10 most watched original films only days after its initial release. That's really good, guys. So a lot of people watched it. I think it's got good word of mouth. Like, they had a thing where they had to crop an entire character into the movie. Go on YouTube and have a look at the making of Army of the Dead. And it's really fascinating. Someone who wasn't really in the movie, they had to crop this entire person and put them into the movie. It's a fascinating story. Just go on YouTube and look it up, guys. Fans of Zack Snyder were also delighted to see the director return to his filmmaking roots and harken back to his feature debut of 2004's Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, guys, do yourself a favor. If you haven't seen it, Zack Snyder's debut film, Dawn of the Dead, in 2004, 19 years old now. If you haven't seen it, go and watch Dawn of the Dead. It's a remake, obviously, but it's such a good movie, and I think it's one of those movies that actually was better than the original. But yeah, go and watch Dawn of the Dead. Incredible movie. The unique setting of a war-torn zombie haven in Las Vegas also quickly planted the seeds for a growing mythology. Following the first film's success, Zack Snyder and Netflix began planning an Army of the Dead cinematic universe. Quickly, in quotes here being the keyword. Keyword here, as Army of the Dead universe would expand within the sea. Its universe expand only a few months after its release, with the prequel spin-off Army of Thieves, following the exploits of a safecracker, Ludwig Dieter, played by Matthias, I can't say his second name, guys, sorry, who also directed the film. Before he was recruited for the Vegas heist in Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder also confirmed that he's working on a direct sequel to Army of the Dead, which is expected to take the series outside of Vegas yet again for a new zombie outbreak. I think the thing about Army of the Dead being set in Vegas, I think, is because obviously the zombie franchise has been done to death. We've seen it over and over and over and over again. But it being set in Las Vegas was something that was really unique and fresh to the IP of Army of the Dead. And I think that's what kind of gave it its flair. So if you take it outside of Vegas, what can you do to keep that flair within Army of the Dead instead of it just being another, paint by numbers zombie movie? I'll be interested to see where they go with that.
Plug and play.
So, before Army of the Dead 2 is released, however, Zack Snyder is working on expanding his series again via an animated prequel series. So they're going the animated route as well. They're doing a prequel animated series. Are you guys interested in seeing Army of the Dead animated? I think it will be. I'll be curious to see what kind of animated style they go for, though. Obviously, it have to be R-rated, so any R-rated animated film is always fun. The anime inspired... Oh, anime, says there. There you go. Answered my own question. The anime-inspired series was announced before Army of the Dead was even released, and has since amassed an impressive voice cast and a creative team. The series is set to take place during the events of Army of the Dead's opening credit sequence, as various human survivors fight to save their homes and their city from a growing horde of undead monsters. To learn more about the upcoming animated show's cast, plot, streaming details, and more, here is everything we know about Army of the Dead Lost Vegas. So, when is the Army of the Dead Lost Vegas coming out? Though the project has been in development for 3 years, we still don't know the release date or the release window of Army of the Dead Lost Vegas. So we'll have to be patient to find out when we can see Nevada residents fight zombies again. Where can you watch Army of the Dead Lost Vegas? Unsurprisingly, Army of the Dead Lost Vegas will be making an exclusive streaming home on Netflix. The streaming juggernaut is the IP holder of Army of the Dead franchise, which is why Army of the Dead and Army of Thieves are only available to watch on Netflix. The streaming service is also no stranger to taking its hit franchises and giving them animated spin-offs. Netflix recently announced that the same treatment will be given to their smash hit Stranger Things franchise with an all-new animated series, set to show fans the Upside Down for the first time in animated form. Yeah, this is interesting, guys. Taking live-action movies from Netflix and turning them into animated films, I think is quite a good idea because live-action animated, it appeals to different people, so different people are getting to see the same franchise but in kind of different mediums. Animated can offer something different to what a live action film or show can give. So yeah, I think that's quite cool doing it that way, guys. Is there a trailer for Army of the Dead Lost Vegas? We've yet to see any footage from Army of the Dead Las Vegas, though the series is expected to be inspired. It is expected to be anime inspired, which makes sense given the style of animation is well known for bringing creative gore effects to life. Yeah, if anybody's watched any horror anime shows, the horror effects in some of them are just, man, they're just beyond belief. So I think it will lend itself quite well to Army of the Dead anime for sure. For those who want to satiate their hunger for zombie killing action for a bit, they can revisit the trailer for the film that started it all below with the trailer of Army of the Dead. So we've got a trailer here, guys. Obviously, I can't play it because it's copyright. But yeah, if you haven't seen Army of the Dead, go check out the trailer. And if you think it's something for you, then go on the Netflix and check it out, the movie, because it's such a cool movie, guys. Who stars in Army of the Dead Las Vegas? Fans of the original Army of the Dead will be happy to hear that many of the cast members from the film will be returning to reprise their roles in Army of the Dead Las Vegas. In particular, that includes Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista as Scott Ward, the main protagonist who was once a humble member of the zombie resistance in Nevada before leaving the Vegas heist years later. Sorry, guys. Dave Bautista will also be reunited with other Army of the Dead cast members, including Ella Purnell as Kate Ward, Anadila Riguera as Cruz, sorry if I'm butchering the name, Omari Hardwick as Vendoro, and Tig Notaro as Maureen Peters. Sorry if I butchered any of those names, guys. I'm not sure how you say them. The animated series also has several newcomers to the franchise, some of which will be familiar faces from Zack Snyder's previous filmography. This includes Vanessa Hudgens, Jenna Malone, who will be working with Zack Snyder for the first time in over a decade after starring in Sucker Punch, as well as Joe Manganiello and Harry Lennox, following his all-too-brief cameo as Deathstroke and the Martian Manhunter in Zack Snyder's Justice League. True Romance star Christian Slater is also attached to lend his iconic voice to the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, so there's, new fresh people coming in as well, guys, so hopefully it's gonna bolster up the star power for these movies as well, which is going to be awesome. It's always good. It's always a good thing to add good talent to your films or your shows, so that can only be a good thing. So, what is Army of the Dead Las Vegas about? The official plot synopsis for Army of the Dead: Scott Ward and his rescue crew efforts to protect all they love during the first phases of the mysterious zombie outbreak in Vegas. The series will most likely take place during the events of Army of the Dead's opening credit sequence, where we see the patient zero zombie known as Zeus escape captivity and quickly infect the Las Vegas population. The fast-paced opening, paired with borderline sarcastic rendition of Viva Las Vegas, not only shows the zombie apocalypse infecting Vegas, but also shows the humans who are working hard to repel the undead horde. Among these humans are the film's central characters, such as Scott Ward, who is seemingly confirmed to still be the focus of Army of the Dead Las Vegas. Yeah, I love Dave Bautista did a really good job, I think. I love seeing Dave Bautista pop up and stuff. His acting talent has really improved over the years, and I love seeing him and stuff. He's really, really good. So who is making Army of the Dead Las Vegas? Zack Snyder, the filmmaker behind 300, Watchmen, and Man of Steel, most underrated comic book movie ever made, in my opinion. And more will still be attached to the coveted Army of the Dead franchise as both executive producer and director on an unknown amount of episodes. Also directing for the show is a series showrunner and DC animation veteran, Jay Olivia. The script is reportedly penned by original Army of the Dead screenwriter Shay Hatton. Also attached to the show's crew are editor Christopher D. Lozinski. Sorry, I wasn't sure how to say it. Batman the Killing Joke production designer Jojo Aguilera, Teen Titans Go, and art director Chris Glenn, DreamWorks Voltron VR Chronicles. Sorry guys, when there's a lot of actors, producers' names in these articles, sometimes because you've never heard them out loud, it's hard to know how to say them or pronounce them. So, are the previous Army of the Dead films available on Netflix? Since the show is confirmed to be a prequel, those who haven't seen Army of the Dead or Army of the Thieves will likely be able to enjoy Army of the Dead Las Vegas without any prior knowledge. That being said, if you would wish to discover the franchise for the first time and you just want to revisit, both prior films are still available to watch on Netflix. So yeah guys, you can probably watch this new series without having to watch any of the other content from Army of the Dead, but you're going to miss out on some nuances or some what's the word I'm looking for, Easter eggs, or head winks towards certain things that you may not know if you haven't seen the other films. It's like when you watch a Marvel film, isn't it? It's like you can watch a Marvel film without seeing the others and you'll still understand it, But if you have seen the previous movies, then you'll pick up on references and nuances that you might not have seen. So, yeah, guys, what do you think about this? The continuation of the Army of the Dead franchise. I'm actually excited about this. Did you guys see Army of the Dead on Netflix? It's a really good, fun movie, guys. If you haven't seen it, like I said, do yourself a favor, jump on Netflix, go and watch Army of the Dead and Army of the Thieves. Not quite as good, but yeah, I really recommend this series, guys. Dave Bautista does a great job, and the other casting crew are really fun as well. So yeah, jump in, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you soon.